The Aesir were the big people, maybe twice than us, that we call Anunnaki. And the Nemnir, the first one on arriving here, were the giants that were a bit bigger than the Aesir, the Anunnaki, and they lived only in cold regions. We have to remember that most of the time that Nemnir were spread in the world, it was during the glaciation. The last glaciation that happened along 200,000 years approximately and ended around 10,000 BC. And during all that time, the Nemnir were the rulers of the regions like Europe, Siberia, part of Middle East, and North America. Some of the Nemnir were very big, and most of them were redheads. These beings were the ones in control, but they were not like warriors, as I can say. The stories didn't say that they were fighting against humans, but they were not friendly. They came here to record the information in the ice, and they were living like ancient humans, like surviving in caves. They had not this civilization, they had not cities, they lived in small families, some of them just alone or only 3 of them. They were not much population, and they were living in the northern parts, and most of the humans were so afraid of them and would never go to the northern parts. And they like settled this idea of don't come to these regions to create boundaries. At the time when we have not limits on Earth, like not countries, no borders, no passports, the only way you could say you should not go beyond this point is by fear. So this is why some of the stories were used to create limits in the regions. For the stories I know, it's not that they ate humans, it's not that they killed people, but they created the idea of that so we wouldn't go to them. They didn't want to have connections with humanity because they came here to do their own stuff. In the other hand, the Aesir, the Anunnaki, were big for us. We could call them giants, but they did have a lot of connection with us. They even had relationships and sex and lived with us. Some of them loved us and they had sons and kids, and some of the other ones were trying to control us like slaves. So there were a few of them, not many, also not many population, because they came to this world surviving because their own world was dying. So they lived in some mountains in Middle East, in the Mediterranean Sea, but they were not much spread around the world. And practically they taught us everything that we know as humans. They were the ones that gave us the fire. They were the ones that taught us about agriculture, about society, about religion. Even if most of them were bad for humans, they gave us everything that we are.